So the last time I posted an episode, it was May 23rd, and I had no idea at that time that I wouldn't be posting another episode until the beginning of September, but I'm glad that time went by because it gave me a chance to live some more life. It gave me a chance to create space to finish one season so that I could start another, and it gave me essentially time to work on something that I'm excited to really talk about in this episode, but I'm going to talk about that a little later on because first I want to talk about a few milestones that have happened since the last episode, particularly if you've been following the journey. And so on July 1st, 2023, I celebrated 3 years free from alcohol. So 3 years from beginning the physical healing journey and making that critical decision to break what was essentially a generational cycle. And then later in July, I celebrated 2 silver medals at the Outdoor Masters Track and Field Championships this year. And in the process, achieved a couple of new personal bests for my age group at this level, and also achieved the All-American standard for my age group at this level. So pretty awesome experience there. Didn't get the gold like I wanted, but yeah, considering that last year I basically came in last in the long jump to come back this year and the bounce up to silver, that's a come up, and that's something to be celebrated. And it can be very easy to get trapped in what we didn't do and what could have been, but when you're in the moment, you celebrate what's in the present, and that's what I did. So I celebrated those silvers, and I'm still celebrating those silvers. The third thing that I'm celebrating, and this is super reason, and it's part of the reason that I'm releasing this episode right now, is that on September 1st, I celebrated 2 years since I started the mental health leave from my day job that changed everything. And it's also that leave that led to me changing the name of the podcast from what it was before to the Mental Wealth Show, because I realized that a lot of the things that I had struggled with and a lot of the challenges that I had were related to mental health and emotional health issues and underlying conditions and things that needed to be addressed, discussed, processed, and accepted. But you don't know that until you start doing that deep work. You just don't. And I think about all the time over the years where I was frustrated about something that I launched or wanted to do that didn't work out. And I can look back now and be like, yo, it didn't work out because it wasn't the right time and I wasn't ready. I just didn't have the capacity. I didn't have the set of life experiences to be able to even do that thing that I wanted to do at the time. And I started working on that during that mental health leave, started working on that acceptance. And it took a long time to get there. It took basically another couple of years. There's a lot of stuff that I had to uncover as a result of starting this journey, but I'm glad that I've been on it. And I say I'm still on it because healing is forever. So it's not like I've magically reached this place. I've still got things that are a challenge. I still have the emotional flashbacks, and I still sometimes can go off into a different place and come right back without anyone even noticing that I was gone. It still happens from time to time, but I'm a lot more aware of it. And I also give myself a lot more grace about it. But again, that's the result of spending these past couple of years doing the deep work and feeling the hurt and the pain and all the emotions and feelings that I didn't get to experience when I should have felt them much earlier on in life that I had to process now. And yeah, I may have gotten to where things are eventually, but I'm fairly confident in saying that if I didn't take that leave when I did, I wouldn't have gotten there now. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't have had that space. I wouldn't have been able to start figuring out who I really am. I wouldn't have learned how to set boundaries to protect my peace and protect myself, and more importantly, protect me from feeling how I felt when I went out in the first place, exhausted, anxious, and ashamed. So September 1st, hell yeah, I'm celebrating that shit because it's the day that I gave myself permission. Gave myself permission to create the space that I needed to start the work that I needed to do. It's also the reason that I'm going to be launching something in a couple of weeks, actually less than a couple of weeks at the time that this is being published. But before that, I wanted to get to one other story, and it's also related to celebrating because Outdoor Nationals was not the official end of my track and field season. I actually had a meet in August in Sacramento, and jumping straight to the competition, there was only one person there in my age group for one event and nobody in my age group for the other event. And I'm a super competitive person. Even though I know track and field, it's about the self. I get fired up by being other athletes there. And so either way, I was going to come home with some medals. I was going to come home with gold for sure in one event and gold in the other event because the other athlete just didn't jump as far. And I'd actually left that meet and not picked up my gold medals because I was like, yo, all I did was show up. Like, I didn't actually win these golds. This feels disingenuous. Like, I can't take these and show these off and act like I really won something when I didn't win anything. I just showed up. And it wasn't until probably a couple hours later, after I'd left, gone back to the hotel, was getting ready to get on the road to drive back home, that I realized, yo, these medals aren't just about showing up at this meet. These medals are about all the showing up that has been done to even be in a position to compete at a meet like this. It's about all the showing up that's been done over the past year to be able to end your season healthy, no aches, no pains, and in good condition. Even the showing up over the past couple of years to do something that you never thought that you would do again. So that's what these medals are for. It doesn't matter that there's not other people here. There aren't other people here because they haven't done the work that you've done. And so I share that because it's so easy to sometimes dismiss something because, oh, it's simple. There's no one else there. No one else noticed it. Or, oh, that's not that big of a deal. But it actually is. And maybe that thing isn't as big of a deal to you because you've done the work and you've showed up and you've been showing up and you've done it so consistently that you don't even realize it's a thing. Or maybe you're not showing up the way that you want. And so what would it look like to take a step in that direction in terms of showing up for yourself on a consistent basis? What would you need to do to make that happen? What's one thing you can do to make that easier on yourself? That's also part of what I thought about during the time that I was off for my leave. And that's why setting boundaries rose to the top of the list. That was one thing that was within my control that I could do that would make a lot of other things easier. And one of the crazy revelations about this is that as I created more restrictions and boundaries, I was able to show up more. At work, at home, with track and field. I was able to make decisions easier, even being able to step away from the podcast and not go back on boundaries that I've set with myself about putting things out just for the sake of putting things out because of what someone might say or think. That's even a testament to the progress. Like, that used to seriously be a thing where a certain amount of time would go by and I'd feel shame about it. And this time I'm like, no, when I come back, I'll come back. I need to live this life. And the people who are with me will be there when I get back. I'm not saying that today if I didn't take that leave, man. I'm not. And so you hear how passionate I am about this, and I'm even more passionate about what I'm going to discuss next because this is something that I've thought about for years. It's one of those things where I tried to do it in different forms, but I wasn't ready. I wasn't in the right space. I hadn't created the space to get in the right space, but now I am. And it's part of what I've been working on off to the side while not recording episodes or not being as present on social media or on these e-streets generally. So I'm excited to announce the launch of the Find More Balance Network, which findmorebalance.com has already been the top level brand of which the Mental Wealth Show is a part of. And so the Find More Balance Network is an extension of that, but this is a community of growth-minded folks who are ready to do the work. So if you're thinking about lifestyle change, if you're thinking about maybe picking up some new habits, if you're thinking about living healthier, if you're thinking about doing something that you used to do that you want to start doing again, maybe you want to run a marathon, maybe you want to get into masters track and field, maybe you want to get into swimming, cycling, whatever this is the community where you come to do that work. This is where you come to get that accountability. This is where you come to get that support. This is where you come to get access to the resources. And this is where you come to connect with other people who are doing the work. Because if you felt the way I felt, you know how isolating that shit can be. And so what better than having a safe space, a judgment-free space where you can interact with other people who are doing the work on their own journeys and be able to support each other and help each other grow toward whatever meaningful goal it is that you're trying to achieve. What will it feel like to achieve that thing? To break that habit, to break that cycle, to start living that lifestyle? What will it feel to achieve that thing? The F&B network is where you come to achieve that thing, so you can feel that way that you want to feel. This is the thing that I wish that I had all along, man. Definitely at different parts throughout this journey before I started this journey, the one that I've been on over the past couple of years. Who knows, maybe I've started that one sooner if I had access to a space like this. But I'm thinking about when I created this, I was thinking about the younger me. I was thinking about the way that I felt at various points in times and not feeling like I had a space to go to be able to have the type of conversations that I wanted to have. And so on that point within the F&B network, everything is organized into spaces or sub-communities. So conversations are, I guess, as private as things can be within a private membership community. And that's part of the reason that there is a monthly investment or one-time investment to join the community, because I want to make sure that the people who are in the F&B network are serious about growth and are serious about doing the work. I've had to invest a lot in myself, financially, time-wise, energy-wise, and even over the course of the challenges and the courses within the community, I'm going to be doing the work myself. I'm thinking about things that I want to accomplish in 2024, and I'm thinking about how I want to feel holistically. And I want you to think about that too, because that's also part of what this community is about. It's about holistic healthiness, firing on all cylinders, whatever that means for you. Finding more balance across your life. And finding more balance means a lot of different things. That's part of why I gave the network that name as opposed to calling it something different, because finding more balance can be learning how to set boundaries. It can be transferring to a new job. So learning the skills to interview so that you can make that move, or getting a promotion so you have more financial space to be able to do something. Finding more balance means a lot of different things. Even creating the space so that you can go after a goal and have the energy and time for it. I think of track and field when I think of this. That's part of what finding more balance is. So if you're ready to find more balance, you're ready to create more space, you're ready to go after a meaningful goal, I encourage you to visit fmbnetwork.com. There are a couple of options for you to be able to sign up right now. There's a monthly investment as well as a one-time investment. So the monthly investment is $40 per month, and you'll be able to cancel that at any time. That'll give you access to the network. And then there's also a one-time forever option. So lifetime access to the network for $555 one time. And if you're like, why 555? Well, because transformation. You don't believe me? Look it up. So I encourage you to jump on this now, because this pricing is only going to be there at this level through September 16th, which is the day of the kickoff session and kickoff event within the community, which guess what? It's about experiences with taking a mental health leave. So if you've thought about creating that space for yourself, or you have questions around mental health leave, I'll be talking about my experience. Other members who've had experiences with mental health leave will be encouraged to share their experiences as well. And so that'll be on September 16th at 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern, the kickoff event on taking a mental health leave, available in the Find More Balance network. So I'm gonna run through that one more time as far as where to go, what to do. fmbnetwork.com, two options: monthly, $40 a month, or one-time forever access, $555. That pricing will only be what it is through April 16th, because I want to make sure that I reward the people who rock with me from the beginning. And if you consider the fact that there's things like monthly community sessions, live master classes, e-meetups, topic-based chats, these community challenges that folks are going to be going through together, the regular day-to-day interaction and sharing and accountability that's going to be happening within the community, $40 a month or $555 for lifetime access is nothing. Especially considering how you're going to feel when you start making progress to that goal, when you develop a plan with action items that work for you, when you find yourself living the life that you want instead of the life that you dreamed about. And I'm not going to guarantee that you're going to be on this magical plane after you join the community, but I can guarantee that you'll have access to the things that you need to make the progress that you want. And part of the other thing I love about this is that I get to build this out as the community grows based off of what the community needs. And it's not really even just about me. Behind the scenes, I want to make sure everything is all set up and things are running smoothly. That's something that I've done with websites, blogs, the podcast for years, but I want to make sure that everyone who's in this community is having a fantastic experience and is getting what they need for growth. And so whether that's adding additional spaces, whether that's bringing speakers into the community, whether that's me jumping on for a live stream to answer questions, it's going to be fun because it's going to grow over time. It's going to grow over time, and I really would love to see you in there for that. So one more time, fmbnetwork.com. And if you've made it to this point, thank you so much for listening to this episode. I appreciate you. It feels good to be back, to be in a good space. I was in a good space before, but to be in an even better space now and to be heading toward doing something else that I didn't think was going to become a reality. And that is a result of creating that space, doing that work, making those investments in myself. So again, if you're thinking about doing any of those things, whether it's running a marathon, achieving a goal, changing your lifestyle, and you've witnessed my journey or you followed my journey or you go back and check out my journey, you know that everything I talk about, I've done and I've been through, and within this community, it's going to be the exact same thing. So thank you so much for listening. I promise you I'm not going to be gone for like another 3 months. Like, I'm dead ass serious about that. But until next time, be well.